Good morning, Caroline.
Hey Donna, good to hear your voice again.
Yours too. And good morning to all of our listeners and fellow quarantiners, social
All around the
distancing,
world.
and isolation friends. Yes.
I don't even know what day of the month it is. I don't even know.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
like the 27th?
No, it's the 28th.
Oh, see?
March 28th.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully this finds all of you safe and healthy and all your loved ones as well. I know this is a crazy time that we are in, so how have you been doing, Caroline?
I'm doing pretty well. I feel like I don't know. I mean, how long have we been, basically, because we had that little holiday. So from that time that we came back, like the 28th of February, I've been at home.
Yeah, so pretty much
Like a month
we have
now.
oh yes, we have definitely been home for more than a month because the Kuwait National Day was on the 25th and 26th, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, or 26th, 27th, one of those. But we had already gotten almost 9 days off from work, and then we just never went back. So
The whole thing hit, and we are speaking to you from our individually quarantined homes.
yes, so just in case this does sound a bit off, we are doing things a little bit differently today. We're recording this remotely, so our apologies if the sound is somewhat off. So
A little tin canny. Yeah,
Yes.
It might sound a little funny.
yeah,
But we figured it's better just to keep up as much as, I mean, there
normalcy.
was a period of time, where we were just trying to figure things out, and we, stayed and kind of watched what things were unfolding, and now we feel like we need to at least get back in there a little bit and say hello to the world. So, hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah, we
world.
wanted to touch base with everyone and give you an update from our little part of the world. Some of you have reached out and asked why there isn't an episode. Where have they been? So, since we're on home lockdown, in a sense, that's why
Yes.
we've been off a while. So, hence no episodes in the recent past. So, we thought that we would give you, like I said, a little update from here. And no doom and gloom from here, though, right, Caroline?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
we
think
know
the
that-
last thing that people need is something to feel gloomier about.
Yeah, we know that, I mean, every turn on the TV, it is just constant, feeding into the
Yeah.
fear. And it's so, we want this place or this space to be more of a positive and, take your mind off of it a bit. Even though we are going to talk about the situation. But,
Well, yeah, because we don't have anything else to talk about, but what's going on?
yeah, exactly.
What's going on? But I say don't watch the news too much. I mean, if you want to keep abreast of what's going on, check in like once, twice a day, but don't keep it running in the background of your life. I think it's oppressive.
Yes.
It just is too depressing.
It just adds to the fear, adds to
Yes.
the worry.
Yeah.
So we've been out of work now for about, like we said, for about going on almost 5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Started off with just the closure for the schools and universities for a couple of weeks, and then it got extended. And now the information we've gotten so far is that we will return back to work at the university on August 4th,
August.
right?
Yeah.
August 4th. So,
But who knows? you know?
yes, exactly. So
Things
it's
are
been
changing.
pretty much just being at home and trying to to start a new normal for the time being, right?
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I was home, and a long while since you've been home, probably. But I was home when I lived in the U.S. with when my kids were little, and even here in Kuwait when my third child was little, I was home. But this is different. This is like everybody's home. Not my husband's not going to work. He's working from home.
Yeah.
Remotely. So, it's like everybody's home. It's a different feeling from, I'm at home with the kids and my husband's going off to work and everything. So now it just feels a little bit different, but it's, yeah, of course it's not ideal, but I wouldn't say
Right.
it's 100%. It's not all negative either.
Right.
Like, it's just a different way of feeling time and space. I feel like.
That's true.
I mean, you have to find ways to use your time better. Like, initially, I think when I was home, I was like, well, this is just kind of like relaxing time now. And so I was kind of, just taking it easy, whatever. And then, that gets boring. So then it was like, well, I've got to do something with this time a little bit more than just like watch shows and check in on my son and, that kind of stuff. So I got back into doing more artwork and then I go sit outside in the sun to try to get some vitamin D.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, I just feel more aware of my time now, more aware of the day now.
Well,
How
that is
about you?
good. I am glad that you're getting to be very productive.
I'm very productive.
But
Some
you
productive.
you have a good little routine going. Mine,
You
on
do
the
too.
other hand, I will tell you, before I used to sleep, those that are close to me know, I used to sleep really early. Once I get the
Yeah.
kids to sleep, by 7:30, 8 o'clock, it was lights out. I was asleep. And I would wake up naturally every morning by like 4:20. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
most people know I would, go to work early. Caroline would be there. We would
Mm-hmm.
sit, have our chats, coffee, everything before going to class. But now, I think too, which this is my own fault, I stay on my phone a lot more, and then just watching all of the, not necessarily the news, because I don't really watch news clips or like reporters and things like that, but it's basically like secondhand news,
Yeah, what people
like
post.
what people are saying, that, and it's just like it can really mess with your mind.
Oh,
But
yeah.
once the kids go to sleep, my sleeping now has gotten so messed up. I usually go to sleep now around 12, and
Wow.
then, yes, and I'm not happy with that. I need to get this fixed real fast. I wake up like at 4 when my son wakes up, and then
Okay.
I go back to sleep around 5:45, and I sleep until 10 something. And but that's really not my personality. I don't like that. And I was telling my husband today, I have to get this like in check real fast, because it's, I'm a firm believer in, you need a good 8-9 hours straight of sleep for
Well,
your
that's
health,
good.
for your
You can.
sanity.
Yeah.
um but anyway, I feel like the hours, and I don't know about you, I feel that they are slow, yet they're fast. Like, it's like, okay, we're just sitting, but then it flies by really fast as well. I know that sounds conflicting. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think I feel like I'm just more aware of the passing of time. Whereas before, like if you're going to work, things were kind of blocked out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the time I know I'm there. And then when I get home, I only have this amount of time before I have to do this next thing. And then this amount of time before it's time, to get ready for bed and then start the whole thing over again tomorrow.
And for a while, just to let you guys know, for a couple of weeks there, we were doing online virtual classes with the students, kind of. But then
Yeah.
it's like we were at the beginning stages, but then it didn't get approved by the government, right?
Right.
So
So
that
we
was
nixed
stopped. Yeah, stopped. So we are doing nothing online, remote
But
teaching, virtual
that's
teaching.
it's not dissimilar because my daughter and she's a social worker and she works in the school system in Philadelphia, and she was saying initially, that they said, okay, 2 weeks off, and then they were like, we're going to do some maybe virtual, because she's does counseling. We're going to do some virtual counseling or whatever, and then that it keeps being pushed farther and farther away too.
Okay.
Because I think they don't know, like, what are the parameters and what are the pitfalls and what could be the problems, and so people are just figuring this thing out as it goes along, I think.
Well,
So,
I'm very happy about one of my friends, Michelle. She's there in Michigan, and she teaches at a college, and she has a second job. She's a supervisor at this school program, also for the Michigan Department of Education. Is that how you say it?
okay. Yeah.
Anyways, so the Department of Education, but they're in Michigan. But her job is allowing her to do both of her jobs, the college, and also the morning time. They are doing everything remotely. So I'm very happy for her that at least that continues with the pay, as well
Oh,
as it
yeah.
doesn't stop her. So I
Yeah.
am very thankful that, she's like, at least for me, Donna, I get to continue both of my jobs. Now her son is home from the university. They shut down the university. He's home, as well as her two other children. One's high school, one's middle school. But everyone's home.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful for her, at least, that she's able, to
She has an
continue from
income.
home. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big worry, and I don't want to. I mean, that's the
Oh
big
yeah.
worry for people.
Yeah,
But also,
definitely.
my son's university too. I mean, he's in Boston, and his university is virtual. And then his graduation has been canceled, so Kuwait has been sending planes to pick up its citizens from around the world,
Yeah.
and the U.S. will be coming up. I don't know when they're picking up people from the more. Well, you can't say that now because the U.S. is one of the more hard hit places now. But
Yeah.
they were initially starting off like with Spain and places like that. So, but they will go pick. He's ready to come and
But
hunker down
do you
here
think
with us.
that the flights, because I know we got an email from the U.S. Embassy asking
Yeah, to
who
go
wanted
back.
to go back, that they were
Mhm.
chartering a flight, and
Yeah.
to let them know if you would be eligible to get on the flight.
Right.
But do you think that the flights that are flying the Americans back to the States, that in return it's flying the Kuwaitis home? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know because I don't
Because
know.
isn't
I
it a
would think
Kuwait
there'd be.
Airways flight? Or that's what,
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I don't think there are that many of them. I don't know. Like I haven't heard. I've only heard of that one flight going out of Kuwait. Like
Right,
I
me
wouldn't
as well.
imagine there
Yeah.
are that many of them going out of Kuwait, just because the numbers are not as big.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true.
But the ones coming back, I would imagine, will be a lot more. But
And
we'll see. We haven't even done the U.S. one yet.
we
So
have a very close friend. She's a very good friend of mine and a colleague. And she did a short recording for us, just to say her thoughts and everything that she's been feeling, just to let people out there know, you're not alone. Even the people sitting at home lonely, or going stir crazy. you know we're all in it together, in a sense. But I will go ahead and I will play our friend Sophia's recording. Is that good?
go for it. Go
All
for
right,
it.
here
Yeah.
we go.
Hi, my name is Sophia. I'm an American living in Kuwait. I've been living here for about 12 years now. So, what's happening with the coronavirus is unfortunate. I'm feeling very anxious and sad and worried for my family back home in California. Just hoping that they're staying indoors and having what they need at home so that they don't need to go out. Worried for all the people that have lost their jobs. And just keeping them in prayer. That's all I can really do for now. I'm in Kuwait, and I have to say that I feel very blessed and safe being here. Kuwait has handled the situation much better than I thought that they would. Luckily, we've had everything we need here. Groceries, fully stocked stores all day and all night. The stores were open 24 hours up until recently. We are on a curfew right now from 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. But I think it's for the best. We can do all our shopping and go to the hospital, doctor's offices during the day when we need to, which is what's really important. Now, although we don't have that many cases here, Kuwait has taken, some pretty good measures to avoid more spread of the virus among the community. Everyone here has gloves given when they're going into the stores for shopping. All the carts are disinfected. Majority of people have masks on. All the workers have masks on in the stores, which makes me feel pretty safe, I have to say. I don't know, it's a little bit different, I think, than in the States. Most of my family members and friends are saying that that's not really happening in the States. Maybe because there is a shortage of medical supplies for the hospitals, which is also very stressful for me, to know that if any of my friends or family have to go to the hospital, then they won't be protected as well as they should be. Right now, actually, I have a few family members who have been sick, but they've been denied any medical care because they don't have fevers, which is pretty scary because from what I've heard in the news, people have coronavirus and some of them don't even have a fever. So if they're being denied testing, and they're going home, then they could potentially be spreading the virus to friends and family who are more vulnerable than they are in terms of their health. And, I don't know, they might get really sick compared to maybe somebody who just has a cough and feels tired. So yeah, that makes me a little bit anxious, but again, all I can do really is pray and just try to advise them and talk to them as much as I can and just listen to their worries and fears, because that's what I'm doing pretty much now when I talk to my friends and family, is just listen to them. I mean, I can't really fix the situation for them, but I do feel that America should have probably been more hands-on earlier than they did start, taking the precautions that they're currently doing now. So I don't know what else to say. I'm just glad to be here in Kuwait, where it's safe and they're taking things pretty seriously. So that's pretty much it.
She brings to the table a lot of things that a lot of people already are feeling, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Being anxious and, just the thought of your loved ones, and
this
just
is one
being
of the
out,
problems of being in another country, right? I mean,
yeah. So
I'm happy to be where I am, but then, my loved ones are also, my parents are there and my, family is there, my children are there. So yeah, you do.
It's for people like you and I, like, living abroad, you feel emotional tug of war.
Yeah.
Like you feel, well, thank God, I feel really blessed, like we're here. But then, yeah, like what you said, your loved ones are across the pond,
Right.
and you're
And
like,
sure
but
they're
at the
gonna
same
just
time, you're like,
versa.
I should be with them,
Right.
like, or what if some situation, they needed me and I couldn't get to them. Yeah,
That's the scary part.
it is, and it hurts your heart, but you try not to say it because you don't want them to think, like you're not doing well or you're worried about them, and they don't want you to worry about them, and you don't want them to worry about you. So it's like it's like a emotional tug of war.
It is, but and I think that it's like, I mean, that there have been, and I remember when I first came here, whatever, many years ago, that there were things popping off here, and I imagine that my parents felt the same level of angst about me being here and them being there.
Yeah.
So I
Definitely.
mean, it's always like one or the other, but the separation is what's difficult, and the not knowing is what's difficult. But I think that you just have to you have to put your faith in something larger, and you just have to, try to
Get
make your
through it,
life,
yeah.
More colorful, more meaningful, spending time with family, communicating with people over the phone, or FaceTime, or whatever that you can do, just to keep a connection up.
Yeah. And one thing that Sophia mentioned, and you and I, we had mentioned it, for those of you stateside, Europe, and whichever country you're in, we are on curfew right now. Like what she said, we do have a curfew from 5 p.m. until 4 a.m. Yeah, so
normally not my time for being out anyway.
Listen, if I'm not mistaken, my mother used to always tell me this: nothing good happens at night. I swear, I think it was my mom that told me that. So I always, and I say that to my husband, no one needs to go out at night. Nothing good happens at night.
Well, after like 11.
Well,
or
yeah,
after like 10,
true.
Or something
That's
like
true.
that. I'm sure my students have been very upset, because that's their time when they're alive, is at night. So, but I think they just shifted the night to after 4 a.m. because I hear the cars, going up and down the street and having a good time at like as soon as the curfew breaks.
Oh goodness!
As soon as it breaks.
But yeah, so there is definitely law and order happening right now, but it's just you gotta be responsible, think of others, and
it kind of what it should do is, and what hopefully it could do, is to build a better sense of the other, rather than always living our lives where we're so focused on what is our agenda, what do we need to get done, what do we have to do, what do I want, you kind of are forced into a mindset of thinking about, well, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Because I'm not sick or whatever, but you're part of a greater world.
Yeah.
So it is your responsibility to take care of your brother, your fellow man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. Is it's frustrating to you because it's not affecting you directly at this moment.
Yeah.
But, you're doing your part as a, part of this whole world to, stay home and to isolate yourself and to stop thinking it's just about you. That's what I think.
I would agree, definitely. And on a more funny note, now you can look on Instagram, and I'm sure on Facebook as well. I don't really use Facebook, but people are becoming really creative with the things that they are doing while staying at home.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That in Europe too.
Oh my goodness, though, are you noticing? Oh my goodness, the new app TikTok. Oh
yeah,
my
son's
goodness.
Been into that for a long time.
I didn't even know that. I am so far behind, but now people are really getting on it. No, I've even seen a lot of older people on it.
Well, the older people are getting on it. The younger people have been on it for a long time.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
But one thing that's so nice, and to me it actually chokes me up a bit whenever you see in Europe we see those videos in Italy and Spain and throughout Europe, people out on their balconies and they're singing or they're playing instruments, and I did see this one video from the UK, and this it was this girl's birthday, but since everyone's on lockdown, she wasn't able to have a birthday party. And she was a young girl, I think in her teens. And everyone from her neighborhood, or as far as you could see, they had their windows open, and a few had went outside in their little garden, but no one was near each other. Everyone was in their own little vicinity, and they were all singing happy birthday to her.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Did you see that?
No, but I have a friend, who I met, I did some training with her in England, and she has the virus.
Oh.
And she was, doing a lot of posting on Facebook about her, because she was just quarantined at home. She was not in the hospital, but she would show pictures of every day, different family members who would walk by her. She had a long drive, and then kind of a green area in her yard, and they would kind of stand outside and send her messages, write things up, and so she could see them or whatever. So every day, her little grandmother came by, and then they were all waiting for the day when she would be able to come out of the house again. But It was really
See,
sweet.
it's stuff like that chokes me up.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
Aw.
And then I saw the grandmother. Did you see the grandmother who was a widow, and she couldn't be around any of her grandchildren, so they would do a caravan. This is in the U.S. somewhere. They did a caravan. She was stood out in the front yard, and they drove by in the car and held up signs to her and waved to her or whatever.
Aw.
Which that was really sad.
Okay, we gotta stop because I'm gonna cry.
But it was sweet.
Yeah, that is
Sad but
sweet.
Yeah.
It chokes me up, man.
Yeah.
But it's things like that too, like what you had said earlier to me. During times like this, you see the true colors of people. Sadly, you see some really
Awful
bad
things.
and vile things, but then other
Yes.
times you see, really
Best
kind
people.
and yeah. So it's not all negative,
No,
it's
just
not
the
all
negative
negative.
stuff
Yeah.
gets highlighted
Yeah.
because it
So,
sells. But there are a lot of good people in the world.
yeah,
and there are a
that's
lot
true.
of good people, right now who are. I mean, hats off and more than hats off to the people who are putting their lives on the line, working in hospitals and places where they're not properly attired to be able to protect themselves, but they still go in.
Oh yeah,
That's
and I
amazing.
follow actually a couple of accounts, and these two separate ladies, they have been making around the clock masks for the healthcare workers, and going with like they sit on their sewing machine and they're making masks and taking them to the hospital for the nurses and everybody, because a lot of nurses have like requested gloves and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But that's, I don't know if that, I mean, I don't want to get too technical, but do those kind of masks work that people make at home? Like,
listen,
I've seen
I
them.
honestly,
It's better than nothing, but
yeah, see, I was talking to my mom about this as well, but because I was telling her that she should make a mask for her and my grandmother and my stepdad,
your mom's a
before
nurse,
they,
too.
yeah. But then she was saying that one of her friends that works at the hospital was telling her that those masks, they're not even effective,
well, I wouldn't think so.
but
'cause it's
at the same time,
microscopic, right?
but then they say, okay, isn't something better than nothing? I mean, the
Well, I
same
guess
as like,
it's a shield,
Yeah.
like it's a shield, but anyway.
but this will pass, God willing, fast.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
but on that note, we are still here. We are still here, and we are
Well,
still.
tell us one thing, Donna. Tell us one thing.
Oh no!
Okay, sorry. Pulling this up on the spur of the
Tell me.
moment. What is one thing that you plan to do tomorrow that would be something a little bit different from what you did today? Because I think it tends to be like, oh my gosh, every day is going to bleed into the next day, and it's all going to be the same thing. And like, what could I do tomorrow that might be a little bit fun, or it might be a little bit different, or it might be something that I really want to do tomorrow?
Well, actually, one thing that I have like committed to is that I want to do some online courses.
Okay.
I definitely want to do some online courses, and I'm thinking about going ahead and registering for some more Arabic courses, but
Okay.
with the application italki. One
yeah,
of
I know
our
that.
friends and colleagues had posted the application italki, and I
Yeah.
went online, and I found one teacher. He's in Saudi, and he teaches the Gulf Arabic. So
Yeah, I saw that.
his schedule though, did you see his name's Hamid?
I just saw. Well, I think I also saw like one person that had
There's
the
one
Gulf.
lady,
Yeah.
and then the one guy, and my husband was listening to him because he did like a little intro video, and he said yes, it's his Arabic, it's similar to Kuwaiti, so he but I was thinking of registering with him. I did send him a few messages just to find out about the schedule, because his schedule is a little bit different. It's like from 8 to 12 midnight and 12 to 4 a.m. And my husband was saying he thinks that
12 to 4?
yes, a.m. But he was thinking that the reason why he did his schedule that way was due to maybe having Western students from the States.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
his availability would be, different. And I was like, but Saudi and Kuwait, we're the same time.
Yeah.
So, but I am thinking of doing that. I've been looking at different teachers. and also just thinking of doing some courses online, learning something.
Right.
Also trying to finish writing some chapters for my second book, and just trying to stay in touch with loved ones stateside, and
That takes up a lot of time too, right?
yeah, but
Checking
for
in
me
with people.
too, it's even just sending a voice note or something like that. I think it also does my heart good just to like know that they're okay,
Sure. Yeah.
So, anyway, that is pretty much it. And what about you? What are you planning to do?
Well, I was thinking of doing some baking actually tomorrow.
Oh,
So
what are you going to bake?
I found some recipes that I wanted to use for some different breads. So I was going to do like, see if I can get my son to be on a similar schedule to me so that he could take a break at the same time. And do some baking of I was thinking of doing apple cinnamon bread, something like that. So
Oh, nice.
we'll see how that goes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Well, we hope that all of you that are out there and listening to this hang tight. Try to find something productive to do, and stay protected, stay safe,
stay home,
and please, if you would like to share anything on our podcast, if you would like to tell us about your experience, if you have any stories or anything you would like to share, as always, please, we would absolutely love to hear from you and share it. So our email is desertcoffeechats@gmail.com. And also our Instagram account, Desert Coffee Chats Podcast. And we're on all the iTunes and the podcast platforms, Buzzsprout, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and we're also on YouTube as well. And we would love to hear from you. Write in, let us know how you are.
And if you have any ideas of like, what are you doing maybe that's something interesting that you found to help with your time passage, or to make your time passage more enjoyable or more productive, we'd love to hear ideas maybe that we could share with, and other people could get ideas from your ideas. So write in or send us a voice note, whatever you want to do to let us know how you're passing your time.
And we hope to hear from you, and stay safe, everybody, and you stay safe, Caroline. And
you too, and we'll be back sometime.
Hopefully soon.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Desert Coffee Chats.